Hey guys, level 2 here. It is now 9:15, 16 p.m. Alright, what we gonna do tonight, just gonna be a more or less a training session that's running for a couple of the guys who coming in into the trade room in September. So far we have two new guys who might be joining as more or less ES guys, which is US 500 or S&P 500 futures traders. More or less, we're gonna be training them on trading the ES, in particular ways on how to execute trades, what we look for in risk to reward, what they need to do in login environment, what they need to more or less put into a trade plan, what it is. Also, we gonna more or less test them on top step account or micro futures account. We just want to make sure that what leverage is allowed to them, they could trade when they go live. So alright, here we go. Alright, so we're gonna be testing them on the 150k account. And what we're using is, for the moment, for their preliminary test would be Trade08 demo platform, or any platform that we choose. May go NinjaTrader or Trade08, anyone we see fit to use. Okay guys, so let's go into how we gonna activate it. We're gonna use the top step guidance or combined plan, and looking at costing and what it is. Alright, so what we're looking for is more or less a 7-to-1 leverage, which top step allows us in a 150k account, which is a big enough account. So it's 325 a month. We expecting for them to reach profit targets within 2 months to hit basic profit target. Now trading is not dog race, horse race. I think trading is a business, so you need to have realistic rules. So 8 weeks, 40 days are trading. The goal will be $9,000 in a $150,000 account. So what top step trading balance is $150,000 is not really $150,000 in buying power. It's the first thing you should understand. Is more or less 4,500. That's your maximum drawdown limit within the top step program. Um, so our own internal rules based on is a 7-to-1 leverage. So we expect in 2 months they should be able to achieve the goal of making enough progress to be able to move on to a live account. Um, we have it a little bit differently from how they have it. So when you have 150,000 account, it is not really 150,000. It's just a built average stuff with your maximum drawdown because of leverage and margin requirements. As I suppose that is why they're using $150,000 as their account size. So for us, it is we usually 7-to-1 on we leverage ratios. So it comes pretty close, and if you have discounts, it'd be very beneficial. If like you have a 10% discount on that, or 20% discount on that. If you're doing your first combine, it will be very beneficial. So you're having a little more leverage. So that is a plus for Top Step. No, they have their guys training and stuff. Well, where people pay extra for training and stuff, which I totally agree with, because jumping into the market as a new trader, which I was at a point in time. So, as I said, I swing trade most of my cash or real money with day trade, more or less for supplemental income. Have some positions out there right now. So swing trading is a lot more difficult in certain manners and a lot more easy in certain manners. We wouldn't go into that right now. Alright, so top step starter balance 150,000. The required profit target is 9,000 minimum 10 trading days. We don't really consider that as a requirement. We look for 20 trading days as a requirement on our end. Maximum position size 15 contracts. No, at all. We will be trading maximum of 2 contracts at any one point in time in any market. We have a daily loss limit with this at $3,000. We have a daily loss limit of $1,500. Weekly loss limit of $4,500, which is equal to the maximum drawdown. We have it at 3,500. We may be dropping it to 3,250, or based on how the algorithms look at that point in time, we may give this a little bit tighter, looking at closer to 3,000, and how we are looking at running this. No more than 2 active contracts. We have maximum stop loss. Do not cross the 7.5, which will break your daily stop limit rule, even if you're trading singles. And look for basically a 1-to-1 risk to reward to begin with. Alright, so what you need be asking for is to have a detailed trade plan, more or less modified one of my personal trade plans that the first set of guys had. So I have a detailed trade plan. What instrument is the ES, bracket order, risk per contract, no more than 20% of our calculated deviation. Right. If you're running 2 contracts, have one trailing. Make sure you could have a minimum risk to reward of 1-to-1, even with your 2 contracts. Well, directional, because this bracket orders we using, this is modified, will be modified. Look for 2 hours for your duration for your open to close. We're looking at rotations in the market. How long do it take? What time we looking to enter the market? How to execute the market? Looking at volumes, deviations, value areas, pointer controls. So this is basically setting up for /ES only, right? Do not exceed $750, which is half a max drawdown for a day at any one point, meaning active risk, meaning that any trades you have, you would not be crossing this $1,500 is a requirement within the system. Alright, so I have a daily workflow. So our daily workflow is what you're supposed to have in a sheet of paper, stick up next to your trade station, your trading station, or whatever you're using. Now, trading by phone is very difficult. I would not advise that. Successful for some guys looking at very important levels, know where they want to buy and sell. Right. So particularly I trade not from a phone but have orders set up at particular points in the day. And how I act or react to the trade becoming active. So we look at 60% of the time planning, 20% of the time executing, 15% of the time more or less managing. Well, not well, execution and management is your 20%, 15% of your time more or less data collecting and looking at what's going on in the market and making sure that you log your trades. So you wake up, we more or less use Eastern time here, Eastern Standard Time. So it's 7 a.m. for us, more or less that is office time for the guys and them to come at 7:30, 7:45. They usually come in, so they will be up a little bit earlier. We're looking at reviewing charts at 8 a.m. Looking at the upcoming data releases. Using we trade plan meeting right after data releases. So you have labeled top step meet. Top steppers usually do their market preview at 9:15. So I might jump in at some points, put in my 2 cents. Alright, execute the trade plan, meaning that you plan out your trade the night before, you're looking for certain points in the market, you're executing based on what the levels are, what you're seeing, where you're gonna have working orders. We use working orders as more or less we stock and trade and manage and execute throughout the day. Do not overtrade, which is something I have highlighted in red on my sheet. It is red, do not overtrade. Make sure and go flat on all the ES positions at 355, which is prior to the close, cash close. Those are two important, right? Try to log in your positions at 4 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. and we do the trade meeting at 5 p.m. The review. So we do our reviews at 5 p.m. but before 5 p.m. Once they have logged everything, we usually finish at 5. So that is your detailed workflow and your trade plan. Alright, so now we look at we trade log. Now most like you would see Tradeovate or any other platform would have the reports on how what they're looking at. We tend to have, from what I learned from experiences, doing it manually and being responsible for what you have. As a trader is doing this, it have a lot of tools outside there that could do the same thing with charting and stuff. So I have something that I pay for. So it's TradeWonk. I wonder if I still have my shortcut on this desktop for that. Nope, I don't have it here. Right. So that is more or less where this my information goes. TradeWonk usually does it automatically, and I add my notes. So the most important things for me are data trade, if I buy or sell, product. Imagine that. So like oil or whatever it is, if you're trading multiple contracts or multiple stuff, looking at your entry price, where you actually execute the trade, where your stop loss is, what stop type you use, where your initial take profit is, where your exit is. So this is just more or less a demo. What was your max risk? What was your max reward? What is the reason you enter a trade? Whether it be value, this or that. So you always have to put in that. What was your entry time? What was your exit time? What was your exit price on the actuals? Right, so if you have a profit and loss, what is your entry and exit cost? What is your round turn cost? And what is your realized P&L? What's your basic notes on what happened during the trade or what could have affected the trade, like a tweet, data, some other news coming out. So that's a basic note on why I look for that and that, and then you put your closing comments, or notes or comments could be either one, and then you have your profit and loss as a headline for the week. What your starting balance is, what your current balance is, what is your return on investment look like, and what is your P&L overall to manage through. So you could know how to calculate your withdrawals if applicable, as we say. Alright, so my trading style is based on a couple of things. I'm a value trader on both sides, which is day side, swing side, looking for value, looking for where the most important inflection points are, and trying to trade off of that, knowing what is my maximum risk is on trades, knowing what is my minimum risk on trades. So, right. So we have specially built deviation stuff. I know this doesn't look clean in a chart, but this is what we have. So we have the settlement price from the previous day, what we our internal one deviation looks like, um, and point 0.5 deviations. We looked up trade one or two contracts based on what the market looks like. So charting wise, more or less, we usually have this chart up to show you guys, which is a review chart. Each one of these guys gonna have to have one of these charts and a chart so they can put notes and close off. So when the end of the day comes, could review exactly why they buy, why they sell, what they were looking at on each one, what they're looking to highlight. So they have leeway on opening on highlighting what the levels are looking for prior to the market open, see how they manage and execute the trade. And so they have a lot of freedoms. One of them we be training to do 10% of deviation scalps, and the next one we looking at him as to train him in to be more or less my style. So I have a lot more free time to more or less manage the project because it's really a big project we be opening. I have now finished a meeting with a business partner that coming on board. We used to trade together. He was on a project offshore for past year, so he now came back last week. So that why I was kind of in and out during the week. This week we were more or less having a chat and looking at what we looking at for September. He's looking to also retire. A little bit older than me, a lot more experience in the industry. I used to be an E&I engineer with electrical instrumentation, more or less instrumentation on my side, more or less a project manager. So getting more deeply into managing the projects and stuff. So both of us we have better experience in managing people. So alright. So on the technical sides, so what I have labeled here is my deviation levels in blue, purple zone. You can see the purple line on top. You know exactly where that is. That was the price high and of Friday, right? We have deviation level, value area low, value area high, point of control for the last day. You could switch and pull back this to how far you want to go to see according to what it is. We use daily um, areas on our side. So make me the adjustment back, right? So this is where we're looking at. Remember, this is more or less a living value area for the while until we change it into a day trading value area. What we look at is the close of the market price. So where the close of the market is to where the open is doesn't usually matter to us. Right, so as for Monday, which is tomorrow, we'll be looking at these particular levels. So we're more or less doing a trade plan live. Well, so we look for the 415, close at 75, previous day, right here. Right, so we can see value area low is at 60, deviation is at 56.5. Right, so we have a kill zone. We're looking for action anyway within that kill zone. We'll be able to take a trade. Um, Even lower on how this end up line up here, you can see this comes from here. So if I change this number to 2848, you would see number changes. 2889 automatically changes. So It has some secrets for us in the hidden cells. We don't share that as internal proprietary to us. Right, everybody have a proprietary stuff in trading. We don't know why. Right, they don't like to share. Uh, right, so we have first cell zone is at 93s to 94s. Second cell zone is at 12. So you're looking for purposeful movements in the market. So what they would be looking at is market opens, where the London session is, where the New York session opens, what the volume looks like, where London session closes for inflections, or we know where volume pops gonna be, or volume gonna die out, and the 3 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. where we look for more range moves and reversals on the move. So basically, we trade plan looking to do is buy off 56 to 60 anyway tomorrow, one contract or two contracts, so you could see how we have our contract set up, which is 1 to 1. Then I trade and stop for a 2 to 1 if we trade in two contracts off at any level. We don't have any, we not implementing any break even brackets at all. Name the bracket if you want as ES1 or ES2, and trade what we see. Look at the volume profile, look where low volume nodes, high volume nodes are. So you can see more or less is a trend up there. Trading volume profile is more or less a lengthy process to teach, so we just go through something detailed on how to read what the previous day profile is, or how a developing profile works, or where we look to trade and why we look to trade. You can see a couple spikes right at the 54 to 55, and you have a low volume node right here at 61. So there's little areas we'll be looking for within the day range, what in the developing, how the more or less level 2 stuff, which is market depth stuff, we include on. Well, we have one trade station with two screens, would be one with your charting system and your review system, which is more or less this and this, and then you will have one with bookmap on. You could implement bookmap also on the same, more or less the same screen, just had a split screen and be complicated. So we have bookmap looking for certain stuff on the market that, which is orders sitting outside here, which is working orders, and where we're looking at collisions and deviation, well, more or less absorption and collisions. So we look for the market to open and then make a decision where we look like. So hopefully tomorrow night I wouldn't be streaming. I'll be just going through a couple stuff with a couple of those guys. Referring to them as those guys, this video is more or less for them. I just choose to do it on YouTube because basically I've been on YouTube for the last couple of weeks, running through some stuff and more or less trying to share a better experience with you guys. Some wins, some losses, looking to manage some stuff out. Wouldn't be trading oil on the system because these guys would be more or less trading on the ES. I have different information looking for those guys. The other guys within there, you could see where we more or less hit today and bounced off. Would have been value area high, value area low trade. Looking at where the open and the high and low for the day was. Um, that was based on a swing high to swing low value point where low volume nodes are, where you're looking at getting in and out. But there's a whole different system trading oil to trading slash ES. Slash ES is more or less trading a couple different things. Oil is something, a next product that is totally different. So treat each product differently and manage what you're going to do, because managing multiple products at the same time is a bit difficult. So I just put in my 2 cents on the CL and indicate to you guys where we looking to actually trade during a day during the day or something on a morning. More or less when we focus on watching while as um as something we doing. Sorry for the background noise. It is Saturday, guys, partying on the outside. Right, so let me just close up this video. I don't know what I'm gonna label it as yet, so I hope you guys find the information a little bit informative. Trade small, trade smart, play by the rules of the game. Trading is a job, not a game. Just make sure you remember that. Okay, guys, bye.